Hey, this is Paul Acevedo of Windows Central, here with a video review of Rogue Legacy from Cellar Door Games. Rogue Legacy is available on Xbox One, Steam, and PlayStation platforms. The game starts out with a tutorial that also functions as a playable prologue. You'll run through a small part of the castle and eventually find a king, whom you have to attack. Who you are and why you're doing this is a mystery at the start of the game. Now, Rogue Legacy isn't a very story-intensive game, but you will learn more about the story as you discover journals hidden throughout the castle. It actually ends up being an interesting little story. After the prologue ends, it's time to select your character. You'll always have 3 different characters to choose from, each with a variety of unique traits. The most important thing is the character's class, which determines their attack, defense, and magic powers, as well as what spells and special abilities they have. Characters in Rogue Legacy also have a lot of unique traits, which can make the game harder, easier, or just funnier. Each character can only be used once. Once they die, that's it for them, but then you select a new heir from 3 possible choices. Sometimes you'll like the choices you get, sometimes you won't, which adds a nice, interesting random element to the game. However, when you only get 3 characters that you really don't want to play as, you have to either tough it out as one of those characters, or just pick them and die to get a new set, which ends up being kind of a hassle. But there is an upgrade you can buy that will allow you to re-roll once on the character selection screen. The game takes place in a gigantic castle. The castle is always randomized, so it's different every time you play, but it always consists of the same 4 major areas. There's the castle, the forest, the Maya, and the Land of Darkness. The Maya is always on top of the castle, the forest is always to the east of the castle, and the Land of Darkness is always at the bottom of the castle. But all the rooms, traps, and enemies within those areas are totally randomized. Exploring the castle is a lot of fun. It plays like a Castlevania or Metroidvania game. You have your basic attack and jump, and a spell which functions like a sub-weapon in the Castlevania games. And then the upgraded versions of each class also have access to a special ability, such as the ability to clear all of the projectiles off the screen. Spells and special abilities consume magic points. Eventually you'll get upgrades that allow you to double jump, triple jump, and dash around the screen. The castle is very challenging, especially early on. There will often be rooms and enemies you just can't survive the first time you come across them. Then later in the game, when you have more upgrades, you'll stand a much better chance against them. There are plenty of secrets like hidden chests which contain equipment upgrades and runes that are basically permanent upgrades, and even little bonus rooms where you can earn a little extra money. The 4 areas of the castle also have their own unique bosses, which can be pretty spectacular and challenging. Again, the first time you encounter these bosses, they might just kill you, but with practice and perhaps enough upgrades, you'll eventually be able to defeat them. You can also unlock optional remixed bosses who are super tough. I don't find them very much fun to fight against, but at least you do get achievements for beating the remix bosses. As you explore the castle, you'll gain gold from broken objects, chests, and enemies. You can't do anything with the gold while you're alive, but once that character dies, and you start as a new character, you'll get to spend that gold on upgrades for the family manor. These are all permanent upgrades that allow you to boost your character's attack power, magic, defense, health, and even unlock new classes. You can also spend gold to purchase equipment and runes from vendors who live just outside of the castle. The equipment affects your character's stats, whereas the runes give them different abilities, such as the double jump, dashing, and even the ability to gain HP and MP from the enemies you kill. So even though Rogue Legacy is a roguelike, which is a challenging genre, all the different upgrades you can purchase help it get easier the longer you play. It's a very interesting take on the Metroidvania formula. The randomness of the characters you have access to, and even the castle itself, keep things fresh. And even though it's really hard, you're always buying upgrades, which make you feel like you can get just a little bit farther the next time you play. Rogue Legacy is one of my absolute favorite games. It's a great value at $15. And if you're a fan of roguelikes, action platformers, Castlevania type games, you definitely need to play through it. Thanks for watching. Please follow me on Twitter and Twitch, and be sure to read our full review at windowscentral.com.